Hello, everyone, and welcome to How to Reprogram Your Brain and Change Your Consciousness so that you can manifest anything. My name is Melissa Binkley, and I'm super excited to share these incredible techniques with you today to show you how to heal and manifest and to take you to the next level in your life. Because sometimes we feel like we've tried almost everything, right? Like I want to manifest things, I want to create things, and maybe you're hitting a glass ceiling, maybe you're at a place where you're not really sure what's stopping you from really getting what you want. You want miracles in your life. You'd love to play in the quantum. You'd really like to understand what it's like to step into a flow state. Like, what does that mean, right? And maybe you have glimpses of it or moments of it or these experiences in time where this happens for you. But what if you could consistently create miracles in your life so that you can heal anything? What if you could consistently manifest the things that you want? What if you could consistently raise your vibration and shift your emotions so that you can live a life full of bliss and joy and love? And that is what we want to do today. That's what I want to share with you on how you can create and shift in your life and really make a huge difference. So, why are you here today? I would love to know if you want to leave a comment for me. Either put a comment and let me know, what are you hoping to get out of this session today? I'm actually going to be doing some live healings and transmissions for you. So if you have something that you want to create, something that you want to heal, something that you want some energy around, something that you're trying to manifest. Maybe you want to get that new home, or you're looking for a new career, or that love in your life, or more financial abundance, or to heal a physical issue. Let me know, because that is part of what I'm here to do today, is to help you to heal. And we're also going to be doing an experiment. And what do I mean by an experiment? Well, an experiment is how we start to learn how to play with the field. So the field, the infinite field of possibilities, is where you can actually manifest. And so we're going to start with an experiment so that you can see how it is to play with the field. And what we do in our Quantum Miracles Mastery program, our immersion, is we do weekly experiments and everyone builds on the other. And by the end, you are able to basically use the field like Amazon and just order up what you want. Isn't that awesome? Well, we've been doing it for a long time now. I started doing quantum miracles and this type of manifestation in 2017. And for 3 years ago, but that was after I'd spent years healing my trauma. Now I've figured out a way that you can combine healing the stuff that's getting in the way of what you really want and creating and manifesting at the same time. So what is possible when you reprogram your brain, when you change your consciousness? Well, you'll be able to access deep states of intuition, right? That little gut wisdom that we all have going on. You'll be able to enter levels of the subconscious mind, the soul, the psyche, the collective consciousness, so that you can have deep access to spirit and miracles. And you're going to discover the mystery and meaning of hidden yet powerful states of super consciousness. That is really what it's about. Because if you can connect into your super consciousness, into the collective consciousness, you can become superhuman. And that is possible. Like we have abilities within ourselves, within our bodies, within our brains, within our hearts, that we are not harnessing. And when you learn how to activate your manifesting powers, not just through your thoughts, but ultimately through your emotions and your energy, you will create a consistency and a clarity in your life that will completely transform everything. So I'd love to know, what do you want to manifest, or what do you want to heal? Share with me in the comments so that I can share with you and send you some healings while we're working on this today. So my goal for you today is to be able to spark and strengthen your connection to your intuition so that you can perceive the signs and messages, ensuring that you're on the right path. We're going to understand what manifestation really is, right? And I'm going to teach you a miraculous technique that will help you to start healing instantly. In my last class, I taught a incredible heart breathing exercise. And what's wonderful is in Quantum Miracles Mastery, you actually get to learn simple, and I mean simple. These are techniques that take less than 15 minutes a day that will enhance the way that you heal your karma and your trauma and your levels of consciousness so that you can really get what you want. And these techniques are ways that you can start to live into your life. People ask me, they're like, well, how much time does stuff like this take? Well, first off, it's like anything. You have to build the muscle, right? So if you go to the gym once and you never go back, you're not going to actually build a muscle or or if you take yoga once and never go back, you're not going to get the benefits of that, are you? So it's something that you want to create into your life consistently. But instead of it being a thing that you do, it becomes a thing that you're being. When you learn to step in and completely become the field, the energy, the wave, and shift your emotions on a daily basis, your life automatically shifts without you having to do anything. Now, that does take a little bit of time. And I say if you can dedicate 15 minutes a day to your life, then you will be able to do it. And if you don't have 15 minutes a day, well, then then you need to go be doing something else, right? Like if you're putting everything, everyone, and all things in front of you, and you're not even dedicating 15 minutes a day to your life, then you've got a lot more work to do than wanting to manifest, for sure. So 15 minutes a day is all it takes to really start to harness and hone in. And when you start to create the connections between your heart and your brain, you will be able to uncover the hidden blocks that are sabotaging your ability to have more money, more love, better health, more happiness in your life right now. How many of you want that? Are you ready for more love, more happiness? And to do that, we've got to start eliminating some of the crap that's getting in the way. So what's getting in the way for you? Is it your fears? Is it your doubts, your insecurities, right? Our limiting beliefs are what can really get in the way of having this incredible experience for ourselves. So this class for you today is for you. If you've maybe tried everything and you still seem to only manifest a few things, or maybe you're brand new and you've never done work like this before, but you're ready to manifest. The great thing about this is you don't have to know or do or be on any path to be able to start creating and healing in your life. The way that we work with the Quantum Miracles Mastery is so simple and yet so profound that it will shift everything that you can imagine. So if you have money blocks, or maybe you're worried about money, or you have health issues that are persistent, then this is something that's going to really help you to find your way. Or do you feel stuck or overwhelmed in your life or in your business or in your family? Or maybe you really want that relationship, or you're in a relationship, it's just not going quite the way you want. Well, when you start to heal crap that's getting in the way, you will actually manifest, and the mirrors of the people in your life will shift. Sometimes, and this is the great thing, is as you heal yourself, the people around you change too. They start treating you differently. Some of them sometimes disappears and new people come into your life. And you didn't do anything to change them, right? So all of a sudden, your world and your perception changes by you working on what is good for you. Or maybe you don't think that you can manifest. How many of you out there are like that person? I don't know how to manifest. I just don't think that that's possible for me. Well, you are actually manifesting everything right now. So I want you to just take a moment and look at your life. Think of something amazing and wonderful that's happening in your life right now. Take a moment to think about it. You manifested that. You created that in your life, right? You made that happen by the person that you're being, by the place that you're experiencing, by the things that you're doing. And now I want you to think about something in your life that maybe isn't going the way that you really want. Think about it. You also manifested that by the way that you're being and your level of consciousness and who you are. But that's okay. Sometimes we have to manifest things that we don't want in our lives so that we can learn the lessons that come from them and have gratitude for that. And that actually allows us to shift and change. I'll tell you, some of the greatest lessons in my life and the things that I didn't want have been my greatest breakthroughs and my greatest challenges. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself and that story so you can get it. So first off, why am I even able to share this work with you? And who am I to be to be sharing this with you, right? Well, I'm the founder of the Intuitive Intelligence Academy. It's the world's leading school for spiritual alchemy. And alchemy is the ability to turn nothing into gold, right? The ability. So, spiritual alchemy is about how do we transform our wounds into gold, into transformational healing, right? And I have traveled all over the world. Our organization started in 2016, and I myself went international in 2016. And I've been on stage and worked in platforms with some of the greatest in the world, from Deepak Chopra to Marianne Williamson to Jack Canfield and Mark Nepo. I have done work with trafficking organizations and veterans associations and PTSD and addiction. Like, I've worked all over the world in teaching people how they can shift their lives and completely transform. But it wasn't always that way for me. And that's where I want to go back and talk a little bit about sometimes the things in your life right now are there because they're there to show you how you can have gratitude for the things that we may not want. In 2016, my daughter called me and she said, "Mom, I want you to come home for this event. I'm running track against your alma mater, Waynesville Goshen." Well, I at that point in time in 2016, I was traveling all around the world, speaking, doing conferences, doing events, retreats in places like Paris, France, and things like that. But I had made a promise to my daughter that year. It was her senior year of high school, that if she called me, no matter what, wherever I was in the world, I would make room to come home for something important for her. And that's because as a child, I wasn't there for her. When she was growing up, I had gotten myself, after graduating summa cum laude from Ohio State in 2000, and having massive amounts of trauma, I got myself into drug trafficking and drug dealing pretty deeply. And so I left my daughter at the age of 5.5 years old, and I moved to Florida to clean up my life. And so I spent 5 years cleaning up that life, or so I tried. And in 2009, I ended up homeless. Right. Well, so 2016, can you imagine 2009 homeless? 2016, I'm traveling the world, sharing this work on how I healed my crap to go from homeless and traumatized and sexually traumatized to sharing. So I said, yes, I will come home to see you. But what's really important is that it was my alma mater. It was my high school. And I had been brutally raped at my high school at my senior year. And it had completely transformed my life, because at that time, it hadn't been the first time that I had been sexually assaulted or had sexual trauma in my life. It wasn't the first time that I had been abused. It was just the icing on the cake for me at that point in my life. And it wasn't the first time that I had any kind of experiences of trauma. I had lost my mother at a young age, not because she passed, but because she had to run away to save herself and left us kids. So there was a lot of things going on. So I decided in 2016 to drive to fly into Columbus, Ohio, rented a car, and I drove back home to my alma mater. So now, the last time that I had been in my hometown was approximately 13 years earlier. I think one of my sisters was graduating from high school or something like that. And in 2003, when I drove through that town with my daughter and my partner at the time, I was in the midst of drug trafficking. I had been flying around the country, picking up massive amounts of drugs and selling them all over the world. And I basically drove into what I call the Bermuda Triangle. And the Bermuda Triangle was this house that I grew up in for a while after my mom left, that my father would leave me in with my 4-year-old sister at the age of 9 and 10 years old for weeks on end by myself. Like I had, I would take care of myself. I would take care of my sister, and and that was the house that I was abused in by my father. And then across the street from that was the house that I was raped in brutally and locked in a garage at the age of 17. And catty corner from that was the grocery store that my grandparents owned, Minix Market, that I would go over and play on the cash registers and and do things like that. So this was my Bermuda Triangle. So 13 years had gone by since I had drove through that Bermuda Triangle. And in 2003, when I drove through that Bermuda Triangle, I was like this, guns up, like, screw the world, I hate you. I was full of anger. I was a drug dealer. I was living the high life, doing all these crazy things. And I was massively traumatized and had not really worked on healing any of that in my life. 13 years later, I drive through that, and I literally pull into the midst of that triangle, and I turn off my car and I start crying and I say, thank you. Thank you. Because the experience that I had between those three places is what created and was able to give me the opportunity to build an organization that was helping people around the world to heal from their trauma and to learn how to manifest the lives that they wanted. And I call that traumatude, gratitude for the trauma. And that is how I know for a fact that if I can go from homeless in 2009 and from that experience in 2003 to building a life by 2016 that was changing the world, and now I've gone around the world and helped thousands and thousands of people to shift and change, then I know that these processes work and that you can do it too. And that's what I want for you today. I want to be able to share with you how you can do it too. So, and since then, in these years, I have studied quantum physics and neuroscience and consciousness studies and heart science and health coaching and different spiritual techniques. I've even studied cognitive behavioral therapy and psychology, and I've traveled the world learning from gurus so that I could engulf and share this work with you, and really give you an understanding of how you can take this to your world. So, are you ready to learn today a couple of amazing things that we're going to be doing? Yes, I hope so. If you have any questions, let's see. I have someone here says, I would love to heal and finally feel healthy and well again so I can stop putting my life on hold and start living it again. She has has a very extremely rare disease called adrenal medullary hyperplasia, and it's causing lots of damage to my body and life. I want to let you know that I have seen in my travels, and I'm not making any promises here, but I have seen diseases instantaneously heal over time. I have had people on my stages that have had spinal issues that with x-rays that had issues that were healed, endometriosis that was healed, thyroid conditions that have been healed, things that people said would never be able to be healed have actually healed. It's possible when you open up your pineal gland and when you're able to use your body as a conduit for the field, you can heal anything. At my retreat last year in Australia, I had a woman who had one part of her face where it was like this and like this, right? And she was in her 70s, and she came to this 4-day retreat, and literally in 4 days, her face healed itself. It's amazing. And she was getting ready to go to the doctor that week to have some surgeries and some different things done. She didn't have to. So it's amazing what can happen when we believe and heal and shift our bodies. So I don't know that it's possible for you to 100% heal, but I believe that you can heal. I think everything is healable. And that when you step in and work through processes like this. And that's what's great about Quantum Miracles Mastery. Quantum Miracles Mastery is not just about manifesting, right? Manifesting is the quantum miracles part, but the mastery is also the quantum healing, the quantum health. Quantum healing is understanding that you can use the field to shift and heal. They actually have proven that you can it's called retrocausal, that something in the future can go back and heal something from the past, because actually in the quantum, time doesn't exist and all things happen right now. They did an experiment one time where they had a group of people, and they had two groups of people in the hospital. From this experience thing that happened like in the 60s, right? And these two groups of people that were in this experience, they put them into two different groups, and then 30 years later, in the 90s, they had people pray and do energetic healings for one group of those people. What they then found, and when they went back into the records to find out, was that healing in the future actually caused a shift. Those people in that group that were healed survived, lasted longer, lived. Like, it was really powerful. And so I know it's hard for our brains to understand that, right? But it's something that's possible for us all. So let's first talk about really understanding, what is it to create miracles and manifest? You must heal these things that stand in the way: your trauma, your karma, your level of consciousness, and your judgments, and also your heart and your brain, right? Your heart and your head together. When you heal and connect these pieces, your ability to heal and manifest are two sides to the same coin. And today we're going to be doing an experiment where we're going to be bringing some peace into our bodies, shifting things around so we can heal, and also teaching you how to start playing with the field. And I want you to stay on and understand, because I have something special I'm giving away today for those of you that are here and for those of you that are watching. And I want you to really understand how you can take this work further and join me for an experience into mastery in your life. And because today I'm going to teach you a lot and I'm going to be there for you, but there's so much more that you can be doing. And when you work on this on a daily basis, like I said, 15 minutes a day, your whole life will change in just a couple of months. So your energy, you can change your energy when you change your life. Consciousness is creating your experience. So if you change your consciousness, the physical will change after you change your consciousness. So your physical world will change. So the physical, meaning not only your physical body, but the physical manifestation of the things around you. Hold on 1 second. Okay. And yet the first 7 years of your life, you're programmed, and 70% of what you downloaded as a child is disempowering. So no wonder you're not creating and manifesting the things that you want, because 95% of the rest of your life is coming from this programming. So we can change that programming, which is about the subconscious, right? But there's more than that. There's really more. Manifestation is about a level of consciousness and connection to the consciousness, to bring the unseen into the seen, right? That's what we call our quantum leap. Anybody ever know if you had a quantum leap? Yes. So that's what we call our quantum leap. And so to bring something into the physical world requires focusing not on what you see, but on what we want to see. But right? So not on what you actually see. To bring it in, it's on what we want to see. You must believe it to see it, not see it to believe it. You must believe it to see it. But to do that, you must shift your memories and your mind. What does that mean? Well, memory is creative. 50% of what you talk about in the past isn't even true. You don't think about it. 95% of the time we're unconscious. Right? So 50% of what you talk about in the past isn't even true. You're making half of it up anyways. You might as well make up something that works for you instead of something that doesn't. So think about this. We're going to do a little experiment right here. Okay. I want you to be able to do this. We're going to think the mind can only answer a question equal to what is stored in the brain. So I'm going to prove to you that memory is creative right now, right? Like, how do you do it? So I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to recall a positive memory. Okay, notice where that memory shows up. Where did you see it? What did you notice? And then and see, where is it in your field? Was it a long time ago? Was it a short time ago? That positive memory. Okay, so you got a positive memory. Great. Now I want you to recall a negative memory. So close your eyes again. My negative memories from last night. But both are only 50% of what you think they are. They're and why? Because the actual memory, the way that it's coded in your brain, it is based on your map or your perception. So say that positive memory, right? It's a it or let's go with the negative one, actually. So that negative memory, maybe it involves somebody that broke your heart, right? Now, that memory is colored by the person that's in it. Or maybe you have a positive memory, and maybe it used to be one of your most favorite memories, but no longer is it your favorite memory because the person in the memory was your best friend, but they're no longer your best friend. That memory will change by your current experience and your perception of the experience of those memories. So what happens if we can go back in and change your memory so that it affirms your life so that you can manifest what you want? It's a way to shift. And this is one of the powerful ways that we actually go in and help people to heal triggers and trauma. You can work with PTSD and a lot of different psychological issues, right? That we can use a recoding a memory, recoding emotions to go back in and shift that. And by healing and changing that, we're actually able to create something new. But only so the mind can only answer a question that's equal to what is stored in the brain. So the more you learn about who you want to become, the more that you will be able to become that person. So, right, like, why do we study? Why do we do things? If you want to become a master at finances or the stock market, you're not just going to, if you don't know anything, right, you can't answer that question. You can't figure it out unless you store it in the brain to start to study it and start to understand it. The same with anything, manifesting, creating, any of those types of things. You must be able to, you have to study it, you have to work, you got to practice at it. And that's why I offer Quantum Miracles Mastery as a way to understand and live in a daily basis of becoming who you want. Because right now you've lost your free will to a program. You've been programmed to live and experience and be in a certain way. Just look at the state of affairs in the world right now, right? We're in the midst of a pandemic. Most of the world has been shut down for weeks and weeks and weeks. And yet you have differing views from one end to the other about what's really happening in the world. Why does somebody have a differing view? What is it from someone that believes that this virus is deadly and is going to kill everybody and that we need to shut down the world, to someone on the opposite end of the spectrum who thinks that it's all BS and a conspiracy theory and that this was all planned, right? Two ends of the spectrum and everything in between. What makes people have these different viewpoints about that right now? It is your programming. It is the way that you're believing. But guess what? You can actually change your programming without having to work on that. We can change the subconscious programming and the belief systems and the perceptions at a core level through your vibrations and your emotions without having to know the event or the experience or go into the subconscious, right? So I'm also an NLP practitioner and I'm studied in different things like this, but this work here goes way beyond just NLP and the subconscious programming and the thoughts that you're creating. Because thoughts, as they say, thoughts create things. But what does it really create? What are we really creating? Because if your thoughts created things, wouldn't you just be able to think anything and make it happen? But you're not, are you? Why? Because your thoughts have to be a coherent with your heart and the vibration and the emotions of the two must be created together, right? So you think about it's people that are master manifestors, right? Or people that are able to, they have an uncanny ability to manifest anything that they want. And these remarkable people can simply think of a desire and it turns into a reality. So what is it that they're doing, because they're ordinary people like you and me, yet they have one characteristic that makes them and gives them an extraordinary ability to turn their thoughts into things. But what it is that's because there is something deeper going on. And I believe that everyone has access to this magical ability with the right training. And these, when and that's where mastery comes in, right? When you don't need to sweat or work hard to produce your dreams. When you think of a goal or desire and it seems to appear as if by magic, right? Think about when you want something, how do you get things that you want? Well, there's 4 ways, right? You say, I want something, and you go get it. I say, I want a surfboard, and I go get a surfboard, right? I go buy one. Or I say, I want a surfboard, and I call up my best friend and say, hey, can you do me a favor? I want a surfboard. Can you bring me a surfboard? Right? Or 3, you say, I want a surfboard, and it miraculously appears in your life, which is what happened to me in 2017. And I'll tell you, 2018. And I'll tell you how that happened in a minute. I'll come back to it. Or you say, I want a surfboard, and it miraculously materializes right next to you. Oh, there's my surfboard, right? That's Yogananda and the gurus. And I've seen that happen once in my life where something miraculously appeared right in front of me. And I was like, oh, that's pretty powerful. But it's a lot harder to do that. But still, like number 3 is where we want to get it, where using the field and the waves of vibration, you put out and set an intention, right? In the Quantum Miracles Mastery, we teach you how to, it's called a creation intention formula. How do you actually create clarity and create the intention that allows the field to produce what you want? Just like my surfboard, what happened for me in 2018. So I learned how to surf in Indonesia in 2017 when I was traveling the world for 33 months straight, all over doing incredible healings and working and teachings and things like that. And I learned to surf. I spent several months over in Indonesia. It was incredible. And later that year, I moved to California because I decided that I was done traveling, and I had left my home in South Florida 33 months prior and decided that I was going to move to California. And so I moved there, and I used to go surfing with my girlfriend, but she had this board and that I would use, and I wasn't really good at surfing because she had a more advanced board and things like that. So I always had struggled trying to surf in California. And then her and I broke up, and I was like, oh no, well, I don't have a surfboard to use anymore. What am I going to do? And so I did my little intention creation manifestation formula. And actually, one of the experiments that we do in Quantum Miracles Mastery is part of this, where I wrote down 3 things. One of them had to come within a certain time frame, and the other 2 at any time. Well, the surfboard for me was one of them. I wrote it down. I was like, I just want a surfboard. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't share it. I just I want a surfboard. Sure enough, 3 weeks later, somebody walks into my house. Guess what? With a surfboard as a gift for me. That miraculously appeared in my life, right? Things come to you through this. And so, but how does that happen? How are these people that can really manifest what they want, that can get to that third and fourth level? Are they just lucky? No. I know that they are not lucky. They are doing something that most of us don't understand or know. They are creating what we call coherence in their body. So imagine your love life or your health or your bank account or your career or your spiritual evolution. If you had the ability to turn your dreams into reality, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't it be an incredible way for you to create that? So what they've done, studies have shown, brain research has shown that when that people that manifest and create, they have what's called a highly coherent brain and focused minds. Again, 15 minutes a day, I'll help you do it. Now there's techniques, and when we work in our programs, we work a little bit longer. We have at least an hour and a half session a week where you're diving deep and doing the work. But if you can do that and maintain 15 minutes a day, you will change everything. So they have coherent brain waves. Their heart and their brain are your heart rhythm, yeah, the heart rhythm value and the brain waves are coherent. They're moving together. So what they've noticed about people who can't manifest, guess what? They're the opposite. No matter how hard they struggle, their dreams rarely come true. Their EEGs look different. Their minds are unfocused, foggy, and their brain waves are incoherent. Yet, coherence isn't like some magic mystery, right? That only masters possess. It's obtainable using specific techniques that anyone can hear. It's a skill, not a gift, right? It's a skill to be able to connect your body and your brain together to learn how to use the field. In fact, I've taught hundreds and hundreds of people how to do this already. And I've worked with thousands of people all over the world and seen it. And the ability to create this coherence, the ability to use the field is incredible when you systematically train it. How many of you are willing and ready to heal your life and your bodies and shift and change, right? Say yes. I want to know. Say yes in the comments below. I'd love to hear, because I want to teach you how you can start to train your brain, train your mind, reprogram it, right? And change your consciousness to really experience. So what we also know is that we do not respond to our reality, but rather our interpretation of reality. Isn't that right? Our interpretation of reality is super powerful. So think about who are you? What do you notice? Who are you? I was going to say, think of something in your life right now, and understand that you have a bias to that, right? So how you focus your attention affects your perceptions. When you have an idea in your mind, you tend to look for evidence that supports that idea and not pay attention to evidence that says the idea isn't accurate. This is called confirmation bias. So if you think your girlfriend or your boyfriend is cheating on you, guess what? Everything that they do, you're going to look for and say, "Oh, they're cheating on me." You're going to look for it. You're going to find it. And even things that might be innocent are going to confirm for you that this is true. But if you think that your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife loves you, guys, what are you going to look for? You're going to look for experiences and things that prove this love, even if they're cheating on you, right? Think about it. What the idea in your mind, you look for evidence for. So nothing, and that is a really powerful thing to think about, because if you're looking for evidence that you can't manifest, guess what? You're not going to be able to manifest. Or if you look for evidence that you can't heal your crap, your trauma, the things that are getting in your way, guess what? You never will, right? But if you believe and know and you look for ways to shift and to believe that you can create, you will. When you change your perception of an experience, you change the actual outcome and you create new realities. So part of what we teach in Quantum Miracles Mastery is, how do you shift your perception? How do you start to see things differently, right? How do you start to see the gratitude in the trauma? How do you start to change the vibration? And instead of being affected, you become the affector, right? Thereby change the perception that you have can change. Our brain processes 4 billion bits of information in a second, and yet we only perceive 2,000 of it. What if that 2,000 was different? What if that 2,000 wasn't pre-programmed by some crap from your childhood, or some experience that happened 10 years ago, or something that happened 2 days ago, but yet was in the moment, an ability to see things in a different way? Your first perceptions affect your later perceptions and your decisions. And if you change your first perception, you can change your outcome and your experience, right? So think about it like this. You go to buy a car, and the sticker price for the car is $25,000, but the salesman gives you a special deal. And you drive off the car and you get the car and you're like, "Oh, I saved $5,000, right?" You're like, "I got a car for 20 grand. I saved 5 grand. What a bargain." And this is how it gets anchored in. You believe the car's value is $25,000, right? So you think you got a good deal. Yet then You drive down the street and you go to another dealers, and they have the same car for $17,000. What just happened? You had a change in perception, didn't you? Because no longer does $25,000 and getting the car for $20,000 sound like a deal. Now you feel like you got ripped off because you paid $3,000 more than the $17,000. It's all about perception. So what we want to do is create that and change that perception for you, right? Because the universe always is conspiring on your behalf. Do you believe that? How many of you believe that the universe is conspiring on your behalf? Yes, yes, yes. I get hell yes. Absolutely great. So the universe is always conspiring on your behalf, and a lot more good things happen than bad. So if you imagine an event occurring, your view of the likelihood of that event actually occurring increases, right? So if you worry and ruminate about awful events, such as your spouse cheating on you, you're also increasing your sense of how likely it is that that awful event will occur, and vice versa. Part of what we do in the Quantum Miracles Mastery is all around money. So I have a program called Quantum Money Mastery that's just about money, right? And finances and income and how to manifest that. And one of the things that we would talk about is like, do you wake up and worry that you can't pay your bills? Because then guess what? You're not going to be able to pay your bills. Or do you wake up every day grateful, whether you have $1 in your account or $100,000 in your account, right? Part of what we do in the Quantum Miracles Mastery is included is the Quantum Money Mastery, because I believe that, right, one of the major things is financial stability, and being able to create income and money in your life is one of the most life-changing things that you can do. And I should know, going from being homeless in 2009 to nearly losing everything in my business in 2015 and 2016, this is part of the story I didn't get to tell you, to having a fear of not having things, to growing up very poor as a child, right? Like money, just that feeling of safety and security is so powerful for us all. And yet, if like right now, we're in a pandemic, right? How many people are out of jobs? How many people have been able to make money? You know, there's two different groups here of thought, right? There are the people over here that take the pandemic and the loss of income and it destroys them, right? And then there's the people over here who are like myself. I invested more in crypto. I invested more in the stocks. My business grew. And I opened and started a second business that is taking off, and I'm making more passive income now than I ever have, right? In the midst of a pandemic. So but why? Because I believe and the way that I view money is different, because I can see the shifts, and I can say, oh, this is going to work for me instead of against me. How am I going to make this happen, right? And so I'm actually helping other people make more money and creating passive income for themselves and saving for their children's and their families and their, and for long term. Because investments, I think, are one of the most powerful ways to do that. Wealth is created through investments. And so that's my other new pillar for me, right? But we look at that and people say, oh, well, that's your perception. How did you show up in the pandemic this year, in this lifetime, right? How did that show up for you? So as human beings, we never experience reality as it is, actually is. Since we have to experience it through our 5 senses, and our senses are limited in how much information they can receive. So the information streaming in from the outside world is already limited by our senses. Despite this, right, we get this information in through our senses. It goes into our nervous system. And that's why, right, then we start to think about the body. The body is the subconscious. If you have a disease in your body, what is it? A disease is a stuck event or an emotion or an experience that has gotten stuck in your body that you can't get rid of. And it has a root cause. And we can heal that. We can go back in and do that. Because what's happening is all this information is coming in. You can only process so much of it, everything. And you have maybe trauma, which trauma is just emotional shock from a stressful event. You have trauma. You don't deal with it. You hold your emotions, you hide them. And then all of a sudden they get stuck in your body. And 10 years later, you have cancer. Right? And then what do we do? And so how do we shift that? How do we heal that? How do we make that move, right? So there's this way that we can do that. I'm gonna take another sip. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We're going to do some Q&A here in a little bit, and I'm going to do the healing for you, and I'm going to teach you this technique. I just want to give you more information. Is everybody hanging in there? You enjoying this? I hope so. Yeah? Doing good? All right. All right. Oh, yeah, Christy, The Body Keeps Score is a really great book. All right. So there's this fine line that we have, right, between imagination and reality. What we see in the world is the projection of what we are believing, feeling, creating on a deeper level. And guess what? Guess what's getting in the way? Your feelings, guilt, shame, fear, anger, right? So all that appears without is within. So when we transform our inner feelings, we transform our reality and our physical matter. The body and the world are the mirror of our beliefs and our feelings. So break the habit of you that you have been. You want to ask yourself and identify the thoughts, the actions, and feelings that have created your current life. So if you can, if you're able to take a few minutes, and I want you to think about this and maybe write down some words. If you've got pen and paper, what kind of person have I been? What type of person do I present to the world? Think about it for just a moment. Is there a feeling that you experience or struggle with over and over? Leave it in the comments. Is there a feeling that you struggle with over and over? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is it worry? You know, we all have one go-to emotion. And one of the things that we do in Quantum Miracles Mastery is we dive deep into the emotional undercurrent of what's actually happening in your life, because the emotion is what your emotions are, the language of the field. You talk to the field in emotion, not your thoughts, your emotions. So if you are saying, I want to be financially free, I want abundance in my life, but you feel like you're poor, or you feel like you have to struggle, or you feel like you have to work hard to get money, guess what you're going to do? You'll create the money. Maybe if your feeling is this, it's such a struggle. Guess what? It's always going to be a struggle to create the money that you want. Or maybe you're like, I'm thinking the thought that I want marriage. I want the love of my life to come into my life. But if you feel like you're unworthy, or you don't deserve it, or if you feel like you're a bad person, or if you have a feeling that is connected to like a pattern where you keep bringing the same person over and over into your life until you heal that feeling, that same person is going to keep coming back, or you're just not going to manifest that life, that partner, that marriage, right? Thinking about those things. So we want to shift. We want to heal. And to do that, to shift and to heal, we have to open up the pineal gland. The pineal gland is like an antenna, right? Your thoughts are not contained in your head. You're broadcasting them into the world, right? So it's like when you're tuning in, it is broadcasting a vibration, and that vibration will attract the same. So your pineal gland is like an antenna, and your heart is feeling the feeling and the emotion. So these are broadcasting vibrations. And think of a radio or a TV. What you send out will come back to you with resonance. Right? So what are you actually sending out? Because that's what's coming back to you. I have some of the most incredible relationships and love and experiences in my life between my clients, my students, my friends, my family. Why? Because I live in the vibration at a consciousness level of love. Unconditional love. I am walking love. So I emanate love out of my life, and love is poured back into me from all areas. So what are you emanating out of your life? Yeah, right? What are you emanating out of your life? So let's talk about the experiment before we go into more stuff. So the experiment that you're all going to do, you have 48 hours for this experiment, okay? So right now for me, it is right. So we're going to do 48 hours from this moment. So look at your time, look at the clock. What time is it for you? Write down the date, write down the time, and then write down what 48 hours later is going to be. And what we're going to do is we are going to prove, right, that the field exists. So you're going to ask for, I call it, it's raining blessings. So it's raining blessings. Hallelujah. It's raining blessings. We're going to have blessings rain on you for the next 48 hours. Does that sound like fun? You want to do that? How many of you want blessings raining on you for the next 48 hours? Yeah, right? Yep. We're going to raining blessings. So what we're going to do is we're going to have blessings raining on you. Okay. So you write down your date, you write down your time. Now what you're going to do is you're going to challenge the field. So I call it the God field. You can call it whatever you want. Because I feel like the God field is like, you know, it's the experience of, it's the everything. The all, everything that comes to you comes from the field, right? And so the God field. And you're going to challenge the God field to give you blessings. So you're going to just, and I like to say it out loud, because you don't want, you know, the emotions and the stuff to get in the way of this, right? So you're going to be like, listen, I need proof, you know, like they say you exist. They say the field exists. You know, they say that that this is real. So I need irrefutable proof in the next 48 hours that the field exists. So I'm asking you to rain blessings on me. And I also want a blessing to come in that is not a coincidence, that I know that will show me for a fact that this is possible. You know what? When we've done these experiments before, what people have gotten, when I work with people that work in the Quantum Miracles Mastery, when we do It's Raining Blessings and we do this work, someone would have been waiting for their green card for 3 years and they got their green card. Someone else got a 10K signed contract within 48 hours, plus 5K clients that paid 5K up front after not having, you know, having a really long time to struggle and not getting clients, right? We had people that to pay in different courses. So when we were working on money, have checks show up in the mail for refunds for over $1,000 for no reason. Like there, somebody saw 40 butterflies in a day, and butterflies were their thing. I mean, just what happens when you start, this is where you start to shift your perception, because now what you're going to do for the next 48 hours is you're going to look for those darn miracles and blessings in your life. I carry a notepad and I start writing them down. Everything that shows up that's a miracle. I was gifted a lunch. A long lost friend called me and said hello. I got a plane ticket from a friend to go to, you know, like somebody got a plane ticket to go to Australia from a friend, called him and said, hey, I'm taking you to Australia with me. Like cool stuff that happens, but you got to see it. I had one woman who had a refrigerator in the freezer. The ice maker had been broken for 1.5 years, like broken, had not worked for 1.5 years. They hadn't had it fixed. Within 48 hours, it started working again. Someone who had lemon trees that had been cut down in their backyard and had not produced lemons in 7 years, that it started producing lemons after 7 years, again, just out of the blue. Miracles, blessings. So what is going to show up in your life in the next 48 hours? Miracles and blessing. Say it out loud, command it from the universe, pay attention and look for it, because they'll be there. It's if you're looking for them or not, and if you're paying attention, and if you're seeing the miracles in your life. So are you ready? Are you guys going to do that experiment? Yes. And then what I want you to do when you do this experiment, what I want you to do is I want you to shoot me an email, okay? And I want to hear about your blessings, or you can post it in our group if you're in our group, or shoot me an email at info@intuitiveintelligenceacademy.com, info@intuitiveintelligenceacademy.com. Or if you're in one of our groups, post it in the group, share with me. I want to know, because guess what? Miracles beget miracles. The more that you share your miracles, the more other people will have miracles, and the more other people will have miracles. And it's such an incredible experience, right? So I want you to do that. So before I go in and teach you this amazing technique, that I want to share with you. I want to tell you a little bit that because we're going to do a technique today that's going to bring peace into your life. It's going to shift your emotions. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the amazing things that we have going on in um, in our upcoming program. So I have a program coming up starting in just 2 weeks. It is called Quantum Miracles Mastery. You might have heard me talking a little bit about it here and there. And this is an immersion. This is unlike any of my other programs that I've done in the fact that my other programs have been just education, just teaching, and allowing people to do experiments. But we're diving in even deeper in this, and we're going to immerse you into an experience where you're going to work on the three pillars of mastery. And the three pillars of mastery are quantum miracles, quantum money, right? Quantum money, and quantum healing. So I'm going to share this with you so you can see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Portion of the screen, yes. Here. Oh, not that portion though. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Yay. So mastery is these three amazing things: quantum miracles, quantum money, and quantum health. So what does that mean? So quantum miracles is all about what we've been talking about right now: manifesting. How do you do that? How do you work with the field? I'm actually going to give you the science behind it and teach you about the field and infinite possibilities and how to use the God field and how to connect into it and what the field actually is. And we'll talk about, you got to understand that working with manifesting in the field and like creating a quantum leap in your life, like we actually have people in our experiences that you can shift a whole timeline. When you shift your timeline, meaning that you're in the quantum and you're on one timeline and you shift to another one, your whole life changes. Let me explain it like this. I don't go back and I'll stop my share for a second. You can look at the field as if it's almost like an elevator or like a hotel. Okay, this is one of the theories or one of the ways that I like to explain it that makes it super easy to understand. Is right now, like you get on the elevator and you push floor 2. And right now in your life, your perception, everything that you see, everything that's happening is floor number 2, right? But guess what? Maybe the life that you want to live in the dream of your dreams is on floor number 4 or floor number 9 or somewhere in the basement, like, right? What happens then if you want to create that? So what do you got to do? You got to go back on the elevator and hit a new floor and go up to that floor. Well, that's what working in the quantum and a quantum leap is literally you get to go back on the elevator, hit a different floor, you get on that floor and your life is completely changed and it's never the same. And you can actually do that. There's ways that you can shift your timeline and you wake up tomorrow and how do you know that your life is going to be different? We have to anchor you into certain things, right? But how do you know that your life is never going to be the same? And things start to happen and things are different and it's amazing. And that's what we want to do. So that's quantum miracles, right? That is that experience. But we also will be doing quantum money, which is all around manifesting finances, money, different experiences like that. And so let's see, we've got Shanae, and I can never pronounce her name, so I apologize. I always say it wrong, but she enjoyed the quantum mastery class. She hadn't had a new client, I think almost a year. And during the class, she got 2 new clients. So we had another person that interviewed for a job and immediately got the job. Like what kind of things can happen when you focus on money in your life? Yeah, we've had people that have tripled their income, completely shifted. So quantum miracles, quantum money, and then quantum health, quantum healing is all about healing physical and mental illnesses and trauma, right? So like I said, I had the woman that had the issue with her face from the stroke that she healed. I've had clients that have healed thyroid conditions, completely healed at the core, spinal issues, traumatic emotional things from I work a lot with like sex trafficking and PTSD, really heal at the core, physical issues. Like, so somebody recently just wrote on here and said, I have a physical thing that's really bothering me. I can't, like I said, I don't make any promises, but you never know what might happen if you're able to completely, um, heal and shift, right, and change, and maybe heal that physical illness. I'll tell you my story about how I healed myself. I've had several. I had eczema over my whole body. I've done different things, but I think my greatest story is my favorite one is from last summer. I had I went to the dentist for the first time in about 6 years now. I take really good care of myself, but I don't go to the dentist. And I'm really healthy. I eat organic. I do all the things. But I hadn't taken care of my teeth properly. And so I go to the dentist. I'm 42 years old, and he says this is the worst bone loss and that I have seen for someone your age. Now, can you tell me how shameful I felt to be like this person who helps people heal around the world, and I had this issue with my teeth, like this, so shameful. So they had to do a deep cleaning, and they scheduled me in. I was going to have surgery. I had gum disease. My gums were pulling away. I had bone loss, and I was going to have surgery. And I looked at him and I said, I got this. I'm going to heal this. And he kind of course, looked at me like I was a little wacky. And I told him, well, this is what I do. I own this academy. I teach people how to heal their bodies. I've seen miraculous healings. And he's like, all right, good luck. He's like, come back in 2 months for a checkup, and we're going to schedule you for for the surgery about 4 months out. So I go back in 2 months, and he's like, wow, he's like, things are looking really good. I had a regular cleaning at that time. So, and I'm like, I got this. I'm going to keep working on it. Well, 4 months later, I sure enough go back in, and I don't have to have surgery. My gums are healed, and I'm regrowing the bone in my teeth. In my teeth. That's powerful stuff. He literally was blown away, floored. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. And he says, you don't have to have surgery. He's like, you're good to go. He's like, just keep doing whatever you're doing. That's quantum healing, and that's quantum health. So incredible. So that's what I want to share with you is that I have this program coming up, and it starts in June, and we are doing a huge experience because I want you to be able to manifest some of these things in your life, right? Like, what if you could manifest a place to live like I did in 2017 when I manifested my home that I live in now, or I flights or fun things, or you heal something, or you manifest more money in your life, right? Like, we will teach you how to heal your trauma, heal the karma, heal the things that are getting away so that you can create and manifest these things in your life. I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Let me know if you're interested and you want more information. Please leave a note in the comments, because I'm going to do something that I've never done before. Is I'm going to offer this at a huge discount, and give everybody tons of different things. I've got all sorts of stuff that goes with it, so I'm going to share with you all of those things. But I wanted you to know that, and I'm going to give away some things also. But I want you to know that this 9-week immersion is going to completely change your life, and you'll be able to create some of the coolest things in your life. So let's do this. We are going to do a process. Are you ready for a process? Yes. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on healing an emotion. Okay. So I want you to think about something maybe that's a challenge for you right now, right? We're going to work on moving out and clearing emotions in our body so that we can bring peace into any experience, into any situation. So all feelings are in your body. So think about a situation that is upsetting you and notice where in your body the feeling is the strongest. Perhaps it's in your throat or your chest or your stomach or your neck, but it can be in your hands or your feet or anywhere in your body. Just start to notice the feeling. Don't think about the situation. I want you to find the feeling in your body. So instead of distracting yourself from the feeling or trying to mentally solve the problem, I just want you to be present to the physical sensation of the feeling in your body. Start to feel it. Notice it. This feeling is here and it's a fact, right? And it won't be here forever, although it may feel that way in the moment. Just start to, if possible, just start to send that feeling love. Start to send that feeling love. And then inside this feeling in your body, there's what we call the eye of the storm, or this spot, this piece where it's of greatest intensity. And just start to put your intention on it and stay present to it in an unconditionally loving way. Start to give that feeling attention, start to send it love. And guess what? At this point, it may start to shift. It may start to move. It may get more intense or less intense. It may start to move over your body. Just stay with it and let it run its course. And know that all feelings and emotions have a color and a way that they move. So what color is it? What direction does it move in? Just stay with it and let it run its course. And just think of it like as if it's a candle. Just keep paying attention. Sometimes it takes seconds, sometimes it takes minutes. Sometimes on rare occasions, it can take hours. But I want you to stay with the feeling. Just let it live and breathe and grow. Let it move around as it needs to. And just keep your attention on the most intense part in an unconditionally loving way. Just stay with it. This is one of the first steps into identifying and being able to move emotions in our body so that we can heal it. This process is one step into going deeper into emotion coding. But I want you to get to this piece here for this piece first. And then in the Quantum Miracles Mastery, we'll dive deeper into how you can really, really create this in your life. So keep holding on to it, keep feeling it, keep noticing it. Do you see it? Do you feel it? What do you notice? What do you feel? Just keep following it until it goes away. Great. All right. So great. Good job, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So now, awesome. Yay. All right. So I want to, as we keep moving on here, tell you a little bit more about the amazing program that we have coming up that starts in a couple of weeks. But first, I want to share with you, see if any of my peeps are on here. Let's see if any of my clients are on today. Sometimes they come and pop in for us. Dun, 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 dun. Um, None of them are on right now. Let me see if I can get one of them to come in here. Okay. So I want to tell you a little story about Maurizio, who was somebody that took my Quantum Miracles class that absolutely had this incredible story last year. So he, 2 weeks before the course started, he quit his corporate job because he wanted to live, a life of a little bit more freedom and experience, but he didn't. He just quit. He did yoga. It was a yoga teacher on the side. He would just teach a class or two here and there, not full time or anything like that. But he just decided it was time and he quit his job. And 2 weeks before the course started. So one of the things that he worked on that he wanted to manifest was he was like, I want to manifest. I want to be able to build my, build a yoga studio, do this wellness work, create this life. But but while I do that, but I still want to be able to bring in income while I'm building this, while I'm doing this. And so he used the intention creation formula and did all the techniques that we were working on throughout the program. And really honed in on what he wanted. And what he wanted, he was like, I want to consult. He's like, I'm done traveling. I don't want to travel anymore. That's one of the reasons why I quit his corporate job. Right? He's like, I don't want to travel. He's like, but I want to make as much money as I was making before. I want it to be on my own time. I want to consult. I want to work from home, and I don't want to travel. And that was what he wanted. And so he could build his business and do his yoga and things like that on the side, right? So Maurizio calls me, and I think we had a conversation at the end of December, early January. And he's like, I have to tell you, what happened and what I manifested and how I created this. And he said, I got a phone call from somebody that said, hey, we saw your resume and we want to hire you for this job. It was for consulting. It was working from home on his own hours for more than he was asking for. And on top of that, he never even had to interview him because they just hired him on the spot from his referrals. That's manifestation at its finest. And that's what you can create in your life when you step into this, right? When you're really into that. How many of you believe that if you were to do this work on a daily basis for the next 2-3 months, that your lives would change? Say yes below if you believe that. Do you believe that you have the ability to shift and change and that you can change your life? Because I believe that you can. And I want to know how many of you are in. Like, are you in? Do you believe in this? Do you believe? Yes. Awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you get with this program. And also we're going to put the link in for the information, so you can go over and I want you to, as soon as we put the link in, I want you to go check it out, like right now. Go look at it so you can ask questions, because I'm going to open this up for questions here in just a few minutes. Right? I'm going to open it up for you so that we can talk about what it is that you need to know, the questions that you have, things like that. So what is it? We're going to work together for 9 weeks, right? So 9 weekly life healing, manifesting, and coaching sessions with actionable items and techniques. We're also going to be doing weekly quantum meditations to train your brain. So each week I'm going to come out with a different meditation that you're going to work on. These meditations are short. There are 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most, but it's going to train your brain, right, and your heart to shift so that you can actually create and heal. You're also going to get step-by-step guides and instructions for creating in the quantum. Step by step. You're going to get weekly experiments to access the field, like the one that we're trying out today, where you're going to have that plus so much more. We're also going to be doing energetic healings and transmissions. You'll get daily guidance, video, and written lessons from myself to activate your manifesting powers, your superhuman ability to heal, and to get into alignment. And the great part is you get lifetime access to everything. So what I have found is that the more that you do this and the more that you go back through, the more that your life shifts and changes. So you do it once and you go through it. You can go back as many times as you want. You'll have the meditations forever. You'll have the live trainings forever. You'll have the guides and the information. So you can really start to implement this into your life in a different way. And on top of that, we have our own special little, and it's not on Facebook for everyone. Guess what? We have our own community where you will be able, it's an app. You get an app. And if you don't have an app, you can do it on your computer too. But you're going to have an app where we're going to be able to communicate, where we'll have support with all the other students, where you'll have accountability partners, where you can talk, where you can chat, where you can share. So it's going to be all of these amazing different things together that you can do, right? And have this experience together. So what I want you to do is I want you to let me see. Do we have the yes, just came across your email. So missed the first 75 minutes away. It's being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded. Absolutely. So I'm going to, I'm going to give you the link. We're going to post the link below wherever you're at so that you can go over and check it out right now, because I'm going to give a special offer to those of you that take action right now, because I believe in action, and I believe that taking action is one of the most powerful things you can do. Because if you really want to shift and change your life, you have to say yes right now. And so by going to the link right there that is posted, you will be able to go over and check out what we do. And so for the first 12 people today, the first 12 people during this promotion that go over and say yes to working with me, I'm going to work with you 1-to-1. Now, what does that mean? So I charge $1,000 an hour to work with. I've worked with people all over the world. I have testimonials of people's lives that have changed in 20 minutes from doing a technique with me. So I'm going to give 12 1-to-1. That's a lot of work for me. 12 1-to-1 sessions to the first 12 people that sign up. Now, the program that I'm offering for you, right? So it's a $500 value. I'm going to give you half an hour of my time. More if you need it, but it's going to half an hour of my time to shift and change in your life. So the first 12 people, that in itself is more valuable than anything that you could imagine, because to work with me privately is truly a fun thing to do, but I only take on limited people in a year, and my programs and the things I work with people start in the 5 figures. So to be able to have an opportunity to work with me in this way is going to be completely transformative for you. So for the first 12 people that go over there and do that, I'm going to give that to you. But you're also going to get some amazing other things with that, right? So bonuses that you're going to get when you sign on for the Quantum Miracles Mastery, the 3 pillars. You're going to get a ticket to our Transform Live retreat. It's been moved to 2021. Last year, our retreat was in California. This is for our larger retreat. We also do retreats in such places as Australia and Bali and things like this. But this is for our Transform Live retreat in California in 2021. That ticket itself is $997, and I'm going to gift it to you. I'm also going to give you access to a Quantum Money Mastery online program that we have, that so you can start diving in right now into the money aspect, because although we have that as part of one of our pillars and part of what we're doing in the program, I think that it's really powerful for you to start into that now. And during this promotion only, what you're also going to get 2 months membership in our Quantum Miracles Sacred Circle. It's $500 a month to be in that program, and I'm going to give you 2 months for free as my gift, so that you can come in and do deeper work and healing and transformation in that, right? So I want you to go over right now and to the page, and I want you to check it out, because the value of all of this together is over $5,000. And when I offered the program before, it was for $1,777. But for right now, as a special for each of you, you get it for only $999. And this is, like I said, just the bonuses itself are worth way more than that. Working with me in itself, it takes all of that away, right? So $999. And for the next 48 hours, I'm offering a 3-pay option only for the next 48 hours. That is exactly the same price. So 3 payments of $333 for the next 48 hours for those of you that want to get this, that need a little help with that. After that, that payment plan will go away. So the special is for $999. So I want you to go over there right now and check out the the program and what, and so that I can share it with you, right? All right, so here, I'm going to share my screen again. So here, da-da-da. All right, the things that you get again, you have, let me to go that up a little bit. Oh, you get a ticket to Transform Live in 2021, right? Access to the Quantum Money Mastery, which you get right away. You also are going to get the first 12, only to the first 12. I've already given away several. So I already have given away some one-to-one sessions. And so the first 12 for that sign up right now during this promotion will get a one-to-one session with me, and we will break through and dive deep into it. And you'll also get the 2 months membership in the Quantum Miracles Sacred Circle. So now what I want to do before we go, because we're going to do some other things. I'm going to go back and I want to share, I want to open up the floor a little bit. Do you have questions about the techniques? Do you need me to work a healing for you? I'm going to do an energetic healing for, what is the name? So Kurt, for your back discomfort, Christy, and Susan, awesome, Susan. We are going to do I'm going to send out some energetic healings for you. And Ranjit, we're going to be doing some energetic healings for you. Awesome. But I would love if somebody wants to come on, ask a question. Maybe you have a question about today's technique or the technique that I taught in the other class that we did, the heart breathing and the manifesting, or a question about our program. You have problems feeling energy and emotion. Can you help? Yes, absolutely. Usually, so, and I would be interested. I don't know who this is that's asking this question, but I would be interested to know. We do what's called, like, if you've had PTSD or trauma or other experiences going in our body, we will disassociate, right? Like, we will squash those emotions because oh, Denise, hi Denise. When we've had trauma or had things like that, we will squash the emotions because we don't want to feel any emotion. Like, you can't feel, if you want to feel, you can't feel happy if you don't also be able to feel anger, right? So what we first want to do is start to pay attention to pain in the body. Pain is actually stuck energy and emotions. So if you're not feeling your energy or your emotions, then being able to start to understand the pain, right? Like, what is this pain saying to me? What is that? It will start to open up and release the emotions and the energy that are in that, and allow us to start to feel again. Feelings can be super scary if you've had trauma, or if you've had an experience where you're not happy, right? It can be super scary. So we hold back from that when we get scared and we don't know what we want to do. So my goal for you is to start to pay attention to the pain first, right? So look at the pain, feel the pain, and then you can start to work into the energy and the emotions. And then other ways to start. Here's another way to feel energy in your body, right? So take your fingers together. Finally in. Awesome, Beverly. Let's do this. Yay. Awesome. All right. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Just rubbing your fingernails together, right? This is actually something that is from Qigong, to learn how to move energy and emotions in your body, right? So feeling the energy, feeling the emotions. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Feel it. And then hold your hands together. Do you feel it? That's your body. That's your energy. We all have that. When you learn how to harness this energy, it's like a golden ball of light. This is how we actually start to do energy healings, and how we're going to heal energy in your body. We do create a vortex and a sun. You will actually start to feel this. It's powerfully incredible. That's energy, right? So we can start to use this to create this. So awesome. All right. Energy and emotions. Other questions, ways that you want to, things that you want to know, because I want to work on. And then I'm going to do, how about, you're welcome. How about let's do I want to do a little bit of an energy healing for everyone. So if that's okay, for those of you that are staying on, while you're thinking about the program, thinking of questions that you have, I'm going to put on a little bit of music, and I'm just going to do some of the work that I do, and I'm going to send out energetic healings for those of you that are on the call, those of you that are watching this or watching the live stream, those of you watching the recording. I'm going to send out, when I want you to just pay attention and notice, um, um, that I didn't, Denise, I do not know for sure that somebody is asking from the gym, but I will hold you if you want to be one of the first 12. If you're not, since you asked because you're at the gym, I will gift you the 13th spot. Okay, you got it. Absolutely. I just don't know who you are, so make sure you send me an email. So I'm going to put on a little bit of music, and I just want everybody to do a little bit of a meditation with me, and I'm going to send out some energetic healings for everybody. Okay. Because I promised we would do a manifesting and healing session for all of you. So I want to do this healing. So let me find some music for you all. This is from my list, my heart chakra healing. Okay. And we're just going to do a little bit of healing here for everyone. So I want you all to just start. I teach this technique in the program, and I taught it last week, but I'm going to go ahead and just have you guys just start to do a heart breath. So meaning that you're just going to breathe in through your heart and breathe out. That's all we're going to do. Just simple technique, because I want you to get into an alpha state so that you can be receptive to the transmissions of the energy and the healing that I'm going to be sending to each of you. Awesome. Oh, yay. Okay, so here we go. I don't really like that music though. Hold on. That wasn't a good one. Okay, keep breathing in. And while I'm doing this, I just want you to think of something that you want in your life, something that you want to create. And just focus in as you're doing this breath. Focus and hold that in your mind's eye. And I won't do it today, but I'm getting messages for people in our program. When I get messages, I will send those messages to you. I will work with you. I will give you the messages. So I do know Christy. So Christy, I have a message for you, and Renji. Just notice if things show up in your body, if things shift and move. Focus on the part of your body where the pain is, or what you need healing, or the area of your life. Just a short one today. I will do more work and more sending you more information. I see people saying I'm in. Yes, yes, awesome. If you have any questions, anything that you need to know, if you need to speak to myself or Liz, who's been sending you guys the information here, when you go over to the landing page, you will see maybe you have a question that you haven't got answered yet. Maybe you need to know something. You can schedule a clarity call and ask the questions that you need to know to see if this program's right for you, see if it's a commitment. Um, again, you can go over there to see all of the extras and the bonuses and the things that you're going to get while you're part of this program. Um, it's going to be an amazing journey. Our last course had about 50 people in it. We always have an amazing group of people, and I'm super excited to take you on this journey of healing and transformation and health and love. How many hours per week do you usually devote to it? So the class itself, yeah, is about an hour and a half on a weekly basis. That's where when we do the live transmissions and the live healings, and then there is a minimum of 15 minutes a day that I request that you dedicate to yourself to doing the meditations. And then the other pieces that go with it, like you'll have I have movement and yoga poses and things for the body, and things that the more that you dedicate, the more that you can. So an hour and a half for the class, 15 minutes a day. And then if you can dedicate another hour somewhere in your week to that is really what's going to make a difference. So I call it the 15-1-1 rule. 15 minutes a day, 1 hour a week of something deeper, and then 1 day a month, right? And so that's really how I flow with my program also is you're gonna have an hour and a half of the class. The class is recorded if you are not able to make it live, okay? The class is recorded if you cannot make it live. And so you will have an hour and a half of the class, the transmissions, the healings, the coaching, and then you will have 15 minutes a day. And then I recommend another hour a week of diving in and doing the work for yourself. That's your minimum. That's where you can get by and your life will transform at that. Thank you. And if you want more or do more, right? Then more is even question. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, Michael. Or is that Michelle? Yeah. So another question. The weekly sessions, the time right now, once everybody signs up, I will be doing a poll and we will be picking a time that is congruent for everyone. And this becomes, I have people that come in from Australia and Europe and things like that and different parts of the world. And I want to make sure that I can get something that works for everyone all together. So I don't pick a specific time yet until we get a good group in the class. And so it really depends on that what time, but I will make it something that so that everybody can that the most amount of people can get to. Okay. Thank you all. I've done both. I've done sessions during the week and I've done sessions on the weekend. Our last course was on Sundays. I also have one on Tuesdays. So I will really work around what is best for the people that sign up for the program. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Again, if you're one of the first 12, I will happily give you a one-to-one session with me. I can't wait to do that. If you have any other questions, you can email info@intuitiveintelligenceacademy.com, or you can schedule a clarity call if you need more questions answered. Namaste and many blessings to you all. Thank you.